Hey guys, what's up? It's Astor and I'm back to you guys. Top 10 players in the league. Now, I just want to make one thing very clear. This is not the top 10 players playing right now. This is not the top 10 players for MVP. This is the top 10 players in the league right now. Okay? So let's go over the list. Number one, before we start over the list, let me just say, right now, I think James Harden is playing the best in the league. Even better than LeBron. But he's not the best player in the league. He's just playing the best. So, and also you got to take in a lot of things like team value that you don't always see on stats and stuff. So that's why the list would not be, because my MVP right now is James Harden, not LeBron. But LeBron's easily the number one player on this list. So let's not get the things mixed up. Anyways, let's start with the list. Number one is LeBron. LeBron is the best player of all time in my eyes. I will make a video why he's better than Michael Jordan. He is so good. It is uncomparable. There's not even I can't explain much really how he's so good. Number two is Kevin Durant. Now, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, I really have a hard time deciding. I just give the edge to Kevin Durant just because he's 7 feet and because he can score over everybody. And I think even though Curry is averaging more points in this season, Kevin Durant's a more reliable scorer and he's more clutch than Steph Curry. Team value, Curry is much more. And team value in my eyes is a lot, because if you're good, you got to make your team better, and you have a bigger impact. But I still have Kevin Durant just because he's clutch, and I want the ball at hand at the end of games. And not yet, but Curry's not getting any younger, but he might go to number two if Kevin Durant doesn't have an excellent season next season. Number three, Steph Curry. I explained I used to not like Curry. I used to think he only shoots threes. But I just think he is such a good player. Except for his defense, he's really like the perfect player. Like, he makes all of his teammates better. He has a huge impact on the team. He's giving you 36 and 6 this season. He's the best shooter of all time. Such a good player. I mean, if Kevin Durant would have been on the Golden State in 2015 when they won their first title, they would not have made it to the finals. Like, that's how good he was. And Kevin Durant is like has the potential to be a top 10 player of all time in my eyes. Number four is Kawhi Leonard. People can argue with me about this, but I think Kawhi Leonard, youngest finals MVP of all time, his defense is what puts him here. First of all, he's a great offensive player. He's not that clutch. I should mention that. Like, if you just saw he tried to shoot like a 3 for the game and he airballed it. But he's a great offensive player. And it's not, there's some players in the league who are great on defense, but it's not that they're like talented on defense. They just give 100% effort. For example, Patrick Beverley, Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday, Giannis a little bit. But then there are just some players who are talented on defense, like Rudy Gobert, like Anthony Davis, like Kawhi Leonard, who's the most talented defender right now and probably top 5 of all time. His defense, his way how he plays on the floor, he's high IQ. So I put him here, and because he is such an impact on a team value, which is something I say a lot, but I think is extremely important. Number 5 is Anthony Davis. I upload another video today about Anthony Davis, just because top 5 defensive player in the league, top 5 offensive player in the league. You know, he's huge. He used to be a point guard in high school, but then he grows, so he has like the IQ of a point guard. He is just a fantastic player. And you can't really argue about that. James Harden, number 6. James Harden this season is playing out of his mind. When I say out of his mind, I mean probably the best of all time. And people can argue with me. He is playing out of his mind. He's giving you 36 points and 8 assists. It's like crazy. He's playing out of his mind. Houston are winning, even though they can win better. Like in the last 16 games, they're like 11-5. Like, Houston can do better than that. Chris Paul just came back, so let's see how he's doing. But out of his mind, he is playing. The only reason I don't have a higher is defense, and because like he only made it to the finals with OKC, but that didn't really count because that year the 8th seed beat down the 1st seed. Memphis was the 8th seed, beat San Antonio, who were the 1st seed. So OKC kind of had it easy going to the finals, and he was their 3rd best player. So I wouldn't really count that. He's got to make it with Houston to the finals for me to get him higher on this list. Number 7 is Giannis. Giannis is playing out of his mind also. Like, he is the front runner for MVP easily, and he might win. The only reason I put Giannis higher is because he needs a shot. You know, eventually people are going to find a way to guard him in the paint, and people do. Like, some games he ends with 19 points. Not that 19 points is bad, but if you want to be a front runner for MVP, I don't think you get under 20. And Giannis is just a great defensive player, a great offensive player. He can pass the ball, he can rebound the ball, he can steal, he can assist. He pretty much he has the best in every statistical for Bucks on everything. Blocks, steals, rebounds, assists, points. It's crazy. And you know, Milwaukee are the #1 in the East, so he's helping his team win. So that's not an argument why he's there. Number 8 is Russell Westbrook. People just like hating on Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, if he wants to get a basket, he can. I think his shot is not reliable and he's shooting too much. I agree. His field goal is not good. But if he wants to give you 2 points, he can dunk it any single possession he wants. He is extremely good. He plays okay defense. I'd say a little bit above average. He makes his teammates much better. Like last 2 seasons ago when they were the 6th seed with that terrible team. Like, I don't think a lot of players could have brought that team there. Everybody says, you know, Russell Westbrook needs a ball in his hand. Well, if you're on a team that you need to be the best player, then yeah, you can have the ball in his hand. Plus, I think this year with Paul George, they are working very well together. I think OKC is one of the dark horses team to beat Golden State because they have Steven Adams and they have Paul George and they have Russell Westbrook. And I think they have Dennis Schroeder off the bench. If they would have like 2 more good bench players, and good bench players, I mean, let's give an example, like not 6th man of the year. Let's give like a player who gives you 11 points. They would contend. They would maybe be better than Golden State. Number 9, I got Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid I used to not like. I think he's a cocky guy, but he is good. And you know, what I really like about him is the whole league is trying to shoot threes, and he's like one of the only players who came to his coach and said, I don't want to shoot the 3. I'm a big guy. I want to post up, play like the old centers, which I appreciate by him. I think that was very respectful of him. The whole league is shooting 3s, so it was really nice of him to do that, so I like him. He is a monster on defense, top 3 in the league, a monster on offense. Really, I think just be a more calm guy in the offseason, and that's how you'll get better. Like off the court. Number 10 is Paul George. Number 10, if I had to go to a couple of players. Before the season, I knew the whole list by heart, but I could not. Number 10. You can have Damian Lillard, who's having a great season. Kyrie, I don't think is as good as Paul George or Damian Lillard, so I would not put Kyrie. But there are other players who can be here. You can even argue like Ben Simmons. Not that I think Ben Simmons is, but you can argue. Like, there are players who you can argue, but I think Paul George, after this season, just proves it. He is playing fantastic. 26 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year. He's very good at defense. And the only reason why I think, even though before his injury he averaged less rebounds, less assists, and less points, the only reason I thought he was better is because he brought his team to the Eastern Conference Finals and he took LeBron to 7 games. His team was not good with Lance and Roy Hibbert. And this year, like, even though they have Russell Westbrook, they're not going very far OKC. So that's why I don't have him higher on the list, even though his stats are very good this year, and he's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year. Anyways, guys, thanks. Leave a comment if you think I should have done anything differently. Just leave any comments for next videos if you want. I'm going to be posting a lot now. Thanks.